Hello everybody, welcome back to iCraft SMP, and we are out here nearby town square, and what we got planned is we gotta go out into the water in the middle of nowhere because we got a major plan to do today. And today we're gonna be working on whether or not we get it completely done is a matter of question here, but we are going to be working on a lighthouse. Yes, a lighthouse. So the goal is to, out of this, actually that wouldn't be a bad spot right there if it was right about there. The goal of this is to be able to be far enough from town here, but also still close enough for the lighthouse to be seen, but at the same time far enough in this direction so spawn can at least be seen as well. And of course we're going to be overshadowed by this wonderful ship up there, but that's okay. I mean, that ship looks like totally amazing. One day I got to go up there and visit it. I know town spawn, there it is, there's spawn. Okay, so I have a view distance that is pretty narrow, as you can see, because there's spawn there and there's town there. So let's see what my view distance actually is, because that's good. Okay, I'm around 12, so let's up it to like 17 and see how much of a difference that's going to be. Okay, now that everything's loaded in, you can see where we are, our farmhouses right there, and you can see like bits and pieces of town center right there. But at the same time, you can also see bits and pieces of spawn, so that way, at least from spawn, we can see roughly in this point here. And this happened to be, let's find out the coordinates of this. This happened to be 194254, somewhere around there, and that will do. The challenge here is going to be what's under me. That's the challenge, and you can see how far down I'm going to have to go. And I've got some sand to work with. I've also got a little bit of dirt to at least try to help protect me and give me a chance to like survive this. But let's start by going down. Actually, let's explore just for a minute real quick. I want to check something out. I really do. I'm going to come right back. Okay, went off the spawn island just to see what's actually out here, and Luke lives here, by the way, now. Luke's pretty much claimed all of spawn island for himself. It's kind of funny in a lot of ways, but Luke is actually also taking his time for once. I think this might be the first time he's really taken time on the server, and so he made like a little house with a little compass and all that fun stuff, and a map that tells you where we are, actually. And you can pretty much see it's just him and his house and the rest of the island. So more than likely he's going to claim this whole island for himself. He built a little hut right here. And from this hut you should be able technically to see, depending on where we are. I can't even get up this little hut there. There we go. We should be able to see the lighthouse from here. That's the idea. Close the door because he left it open. I don't know why. Anyway, so going back out into the water. Now I know what that leads out here, and I want to make sure that we get to the minimum distance in this direction as well. And so I also want to make sure that we're going to hopefully not have to sink so far down. That would be ridiculous too. I prefer to have like some level ground to work with, if possible. Ideally, if possible, that is, of course, right? So there we go. Now you can start to see our area start to beam in, and that area is still available for the most part. I want to beam in a little bit more, just a little bit more. Let's see what my new coordinates are in this direction over here. Yeah, this should be about it, right about here. Yeah, there we go. That's it right there. Okay, perfect. Now we can see this. And now we can see that. This is pretty clear, of course, and I want this to be at least a little bit on the fuzzy side, at least for him. But this side, we want to make sure it's clear enough. So let's see what our new coordinates are here. This happened to be 189, 236. Oh my gosh. What a distance I'm going to be going, and I'm probably going to die in this process. Oh my, there's gravel. This is nice. Okay, right about here. Let's set up a little overhang to hopefully, like, just to have an air pocket to work with. Oh god, really? I ran out just now. Okay, wonderful. Come on, come on. Air pocket. Ah, I don't have an air pocket. Okay, up, 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 up. Oh my god, I'm still gonna die, folks. I'm still gonna die. Come on, respiration. Last long enough. Last long enough. Just one more. One more. One more. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm almost there. Oh, I made it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, let's get back down there and try this again. I didn't quite make a perfect pocket, so to speak. So let's try and make another pocket at least a little bit bigger just to have a way in. And we'll put it like right about here. And then up here will be dirt. And then right here will be more sand. Well, this part doesn't need to be sand. What I do need to do is get sand in here. That way, we have a consistent air pocket, and it should, in theory, work to give me what I need. There we go. We got air. We got air, folks. I can't see anything, but we got air. Okay, good. We got an air pocket, and I accidentally took out the dirt down there, but that's okay. Okay, this is excellent. We now have an air pocket to work from, and what we got to do now is we're going to pile sand. I can't even get out. Get me out. Out. There we go. Now I just need to pile sand going straight up from here, and I think we're just going to work off of this piece right here and get this sand to go all the way up to the top. Okay, folks, I literally made a 9x9 pillar. Literally 9x9 pillar. I figured I'd do that since the bottom was only 25 blocks deep, so it wasn't too bad, and might as well make it look natural kind of looking, you know what I mean? So now what we're going to be working on is making a diorite frame. This is part of the reason I bought all that diorite. And so what the diorite frame is going to look like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going that way, followed by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, followed by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get the rough idea of what I'm doing here. And so the diorite here is essentially the framework for which the lighthouse is going to be sitting on. And so our lighthouse is literally going to be about this big, and then up toward the top is where it's going to narrow out. And I'm not going to do the narrowing out, at least not yet. I want to make the frame at least, I don't know how many high. We're going to find out how many high this really ought to be. And I'm going to eventually have to make a diorite door, so that way I can get myself in here, followed by a ladder that gets me up to the top, because otherwise this isn't going to work, you know what I mean? So let's go, I don't even know how high this is, really. Let's go until I run out of blocks. Yeah, folks, I think that will do it. That's like 14 high now. Then that would go 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It'll be up about 22 high off the ground by the time I get completely done with it. And so that will do. That will actually work quite nice. And so this will be just the base piece. And then the next piece up will actually narrow in and go up narrower after that, followed by eventually a 5x5 light section. And then eventually pop out at the very top. So the very, very, very tip part will definitely be higher than 8x8, of course. So let me go ahead and get the rest of the wall up here, and then we'll kind of determine where we are after that. Okay, folks, so the first step we're going to be doing is we're going to be making the clock piece, the part that actually makes this thing rotate like it's supposed to. And I was using these torches basically as a counting device. I just wanted to make sure I had the right size before I actually go any further, because the worst thing I could do is build something and then find out it failed. No, I don't want it to fail now, you know what I mean? So anyway, so I'm going to be putting this block in here, because this is where a repeater is going to be going. There's going to be a repeater going right into this block next to it, followed by, I need some room for redstone. Redstone right here, followed by another repeater going here, followed by another block, and so this will be perfect, and that means the next layer of blocks will be exactly where these are actually located right now, which is going to be perfect. So that's going to work out really good. And I just have to make sure I don't accidentally fall into my little hole right behind me as I put this out here, because this is where this is going to have to change a little bit. I'm going to have to probably move it towards the center and build an entire staircase thingamajig going up towards the center. But for now, this idea will work, because I don't actually need that just yet anyways. So this essentially will create the clock, and this clock will only work, by the way, after I get this thing turned on, of course, after. Now, I also have this entire clock set at 1 tick for now, and let's go ahead and set everything up to be 1 tick, so that way, when this does activate, let me show you what it will do. There it goes. And that's what it's going to do. And this is how the strobe is going to work. And I guess for now, I'll leave that turned on just to have it going. And then from there, we're going to start the next layer up. Okay, folks, so let's show you what's up next. So we are going to get our redstone, which is hiding from me. Our redstone is going to be sitting up on these corners, and you can start to see how this strobe light is, in fact, going to be working in a few minutes. And for now, I'm not changing these settings just because I want it to be as low as possible, just so that way you can see where things are going. Oh, I'm realizing I'm doing something wrong, aren't I? I think I need to take one of these off. It should be on the forward direction one, so it should be hopefully on this one here. If not, I'll be changing it obviously just in a little bit. But yeah, so what I'm going to have to do later is I'm going to have to set up a hole down the center, and this guy's going to have to move later because it's not going to fit very well. And then on top of these, by the way, is going to be torches. And this is what's going to set our lamps up, and so that way above the torches is going to start our lamp system. And you notice how this is rotating already to begin with, and so this is where our strobe system is coming from. And when our lamps start strobing, everybody will be noticing, especially that guy up there. Assuming he looks at it. We'll see. Okay, folks, so the next step here was to put these blocks right here. There was blocks right in front of the torch and blocks right behind the torch. All of these blocks actually are going to have repeaters going into them, so to speak, or out of them, however you want to say that. So, for example, there will be repeaters here, repeaters there, a repeater here, repeaters there. And you can start to see the pattern that this starts to develop here. And so this also will keep the strobing like it should. And also what goes in all of these will be another set of blocks. If I can get this to hook on, there it goes, one there. And then there'll be another one right above this lamp, I believe. Yes, that should be right where it goes. And then the pattern starts to develop from there pretty much. And you should, because that lamp under there should, and as you can see, it's already powering everything on. And what's nice about this is if you do this while you're checking your work, you can actually make this so much easier. Your life actually 10 times easier as you build this. And again, this is going to be a strobing lighthouse. And so that takes care of the outside piece. And then there's also going to be lamps on the inside as well, covering this. Oh, geez, I put that in the wrong place. This spot here. These lamps on the inside are what's going to eventually be going straight up from that point down there all the way up into the actual system. And eventually, by the way, we got to make this automated. I've yet to do that. I'm not going to worry about that for now. And so you can see my work is being checked already. There we go. Everything is being powered, and powered it is. Pretty much every block I put out there has a lamp on it. And you notice now, just if you look at this setup here, you can see it's strobing like it should, but it's not a perfect strobe, obviously. And I'm going to be changing the setting just a little bit because this is going to be a little too fast. And so what I want to do is I want to put all of these on 4. And that's where I'm going to put this thing all set up for 4. So that way the strobe is much more slower. And when it does strobe, it should strobe at a much slower rate rather than the quick pace that we saw earlier. Alright folks, so I made some fine-tune adjustments. The one down there I have set to 3 now instead of 2. I left the outside one set to 4. All of the outside repeaters are set to 4, and then the inside repeaters are set to 3 as well. And so this is where now we come to the lamp portion. Yay, we can finally get to the good stuff, right? I probably have to make this up a little higher now that I think about it. Yeah, I know, I'm using a tree basically to make my setup here, but that's okay. It at least gets me up there, gets me where I need to go. So this is going to be the section where the lamps are going to be sitting on, and after we're done with the lamp system, this is where we gotta eventually automate it so we can turn on only at night and it stays off during the daytime, because I want to like save some lag at least in spawn here rather than having spawn being horribly laggy, you know what I mean? And then the lights themselves, I don't have lights. Oh god, so the lights are way down there. Okay, well then, that means I have to get off of this. I'll be right back and let me get some lamps. Okay, there's my lamps. As you can see, it looks a bit like that, and it doesn't come out very well at all, especially when you don't have the top piece hooked up. So as you can see, it's hitting on the torches there that's down below, but you've got to eventually make the setup work so that way it hits on everything, and we're going to be doing that as soon as we get the last of the lamps on here. And I made 48 lamps. That's just like amazing how many lamps I had to make. There are a bit more lamps than just these. I have to also make the corner lamps, which I've yet to do that, and I will do that in just a second as soon as I got the rest of this hooked up like it should. And the sun's coming up. That's so sad. I wanted to make this look so pretty. Anyway, so repeaters, repeater, and repeater, and this just is the extra repeater I've been hanging on, and these are all going here, and that should then start to power up the rest of the system. And then of course we got to do the corners, which then the corners will power on the remaining lamps. Oh really? Am I short by 1? Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm short by 1. Well, whatever. You can kind of see the rough idea of what it's doing, except for that corner block. Whatever. Ow, that hurt like heck. Okay, we got to go back down. We got to get one more. Just one more. Oh, you know what? I think I know what happened to it. I used it for my sticky piston. Okay, everybody. I've fixed the automated portion of the system. Let me show you real quick how it works. So, I've got a daylight sensor sitting up here, which is right about there. And if I can actually squeeze around the system, then you can really see what this actually is supposed to do and how it's supposed to work. I can't even get around this entire thing. Let's see if I can jump up here. Put one block there, get up here. There we go, much better. So I got a piston with a block of diorite on it. For some reason that helps. For some reason the stone brick, but I don't know why. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, so piston is what helps keep this system active. As you can see, the thing's already spinning around in circles up there. And that gets activated whenever the daylight sensor gets powered for nighttime, which right now is daytime, so it's on, so it's okay. As for the other half of the system, works to power this portion right here. So that if you follow this back, it goes down into this torch right here, and this torch will only get powered when the rest of the system right over here in this pile of everything is actually active. So if you follow the system the rest of the way down, let's get back down that way and show you what's down there. There it goes. Okay, much better. Show you what's actually down there. Oh man, we were just there. We were just there. Get back up. One more time. Okay. So this uses like a modified clock in a sense, and so there was a torch here, and that was actually what was breaking the system. I forgot I put a torch there, and I forgot that torch is not supposed to be there. Anyhow, so what it does is it goes from, essentially from the, oh god, so daylight sensor, it comes down, goes in the repeater, which enhances the power, comes up over this way, turns this on, and what happens is when that actually turns off, for example, like that, it will turn this torch on, power this, and keep this block powered, which then will turn this off. Once this turns on again, it will give enough signal to actually power the system up, just that much. And I can already see, I think it's already nighttime outside, or it's going to be nighttime outside, so I'm going to leave the daylight sensor as is. We're going to go up to the top and do something about the roof up there. That's the one thing I've yet to do with the system. I haven't put a roof on, so let me go ahead and get the roof plugged in. And then I think this episode will actually be about done, if I can remember how to get up there. There we go. Much better. Okay, good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is finally it. The last couple blocks to put in, and the system is finally done. This is left open predominantly, so that way I can get in and out. No, not really. This is actually, so that way the daylight sensor works like it should. And we're going to go take a little trip down this way actually first. I'm just going to take out the last bit of my blocks, and then from there I'm going to go outside. We're going to go in that boat. We're going to see what this looks like from afar. We're going to also get a picture of this lighthouse, and that should be about it. And then we'll end the episode. I think we got it made. Okay, everybody, with the sun about to set, we're going to be calling today's episode quits. I hope you liked this episode. I hope you liked its design here. I've done this design before, by the way. There's a episode called Project Redstone Episode 1. That's where I derived this from. It's actually one of mine. I kind of created this from a bunch of things. And so, yeah, I borrowed a bunch of pieces of how to do strobe lights, etc., 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 and that's how you get one of these. Now, you can change the dimensions of the lighthouse however you want, and that's perfectly fine. I opted for this, where I went up about 14 blocks, followed by 5 blocks, followed by the last 3 blocks for the lights and the roof, of course. And I think it came out quite well. And as the sun sets, as usual, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think of the lighthouse. I'm going to cut out briefly here, so that way we can cut in right when the light goes on. I'll see you in just a second. And there it goes, folks. The strobe works perfectly. That's exactly what I'm looking for. It turned on just right and is strobing just right. Now we can see this from spawn. We can also see this from town center. And by the way, what's going to get hooked up with this, I was talking to Blastworth about this. What's going to get hooked up with this, by the way, is going to be a house sitting right next to it. Kind of like one of those little small hamlet houses. I don't know how far away from the lighthouse, but I'm going to make like a separate island for the house itself and then kind of join them together, so to speak. And I don't know if I'm going to do that in the next episode or if I'm going to wait a few episodes. We'll kind of wait and see where it's at. But at least I got my lighthouse up and running and it's working just fine. And as for me, like I said already, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. And as usual, we will see you all next time. Alright, guys. Love the automatic lighthouse, of course. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, and Happy New Year. In case you guys are wondering about the corner pieces, the corner lights go right in here. Simply right on the corner, so that way they fit. And with that, that will make a perfect strobe once I get the last bit of redstone in there. I can't believe I lost one stupid piece of redstone. I can't believe that.